another freakish athlete, very close to you, your son, Jacob Henry. He is crazy, the videos I've seen of him, and I heard that he eventually wants to go into professional wrestling and that you're more than happy about that. Can you talk about some of that advice that you give someone as close to you as your son?
Uh, I don't have to push Jacob. You know, people think that it's me holding him to it. I never wanted him to wrestle
Hmm.
because I knew how hard it was. And he told me at an early age that he didn't want to live in my shadow. And I told Jacob, I said, Jacob, I'm like Pikes Peak or the Himalayan mountains. I cast a pretty damn big shadow, the things that I've done. And you just got to get used to make it shine in the light in that shadow.
Yeah.
And he's done exactly that. He's done things that I couldn't do at his age, and he didn't dedicate himself only to lifting. If he did, and he ate like I ate, and he was the size that I was 350 pounds
Hmm.
at his age. You know, he's 285 and 280 most of the time, and is playing football, made all state in football. Um, he qualified for state um, in track and throwing the shot put. Um, uh, Came in second in state, um, UIL state last year, and won open state last year. And yesterday placed second in Greco and freestyle wrestling in the same weekend.
Wow.
And is going to University of Oklahoma to wrestle, and following in the footsteps of four really great wrestlers. You know, Danny Hodge being the greatest of them all, and Dr. Death Steve Williams and Jack Swagger. And now it'll be Jacob. And Jacob wants to wrestle, and Jacob wants to be great. And I can tell you right now, I would put his wrestling acumen up there with everybody at the top at NXT. His understanding and knowledge of the force, if you will, for lack of a better term, is, you know, on a scale of 1 to 100, Jacob is probably about an 85 in his understanding and knowledge. And that's a 18, you know, 19, about to turn 19-year-old kid. So when he gets 21, 23, somewhere in there, whenever he decides to become a professional wrestler,
Yeah.
he's going to be elite. He's already physically there. He's more than mentally there. He just has to put the work in and practice the actual business of pro wrestling. And he realizes what it is to be a professional already because he sees his father's example. He won't make the mistakes that I made. You know, like he'll be better than me.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with that. I'm the only human walking this planet that wants him to be greater than I am. There ain't no man walking this earth that wants him to be better than them. But I do.
But you do.
And I was the best.
Yes.
So if that's the case, then, you know, he's going to be fine. And I look forward to seeing what level of success he has. But I grew up, when I say grew up in wrestling, I trained in wrestling with The Rock. And I was telling Jacob, I was so jealous of him because I had been in Connecticut for almost 8 months training before he came to run the ropes and learn how to drop down flat and learn how to leapfrog and how to grab poles and learning what they call a continental and doing 10 covers and all of these things that you have to learn in the beginning stages. Dwayne came in one day and did all that shit like it was nothing. He did it all. And he had never been trained. It was all because he watched his father, his grandfather, his mother and grandmother were in the business. Like, you can't teach what he knew. His instincts for wrestling was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, man, how did you do? He's like, man, I seen it before. Like, we used to play in the ring before the shows. They played wrestling.
And wow.
While all of us are playing football and basketball and marbles and
in wrestling.
They jumping off the top rope on grass pad. You see what there's a difference. And that's what Jacob is. I wouldn't doubt if my daughter was able to do it too. She's just as good an athlete as he is. And, we just have to get her work acumen to be like Jacob. Ain't nobody gonna outwork Jacob because he's prideful. And, like, when you don't want to look second, you work first. That's who he is. Like, he gonna be a big success, and I don't have no doubt about it. And it ain't even no pressure. It ain't like putting no pressure on him. I did mocap, like motion capture for a video game.
Okay.
And I took Jacob with me.
What game was it, by the way?
I'm sorry?
What game was that? What video game was
that? It's a top secret. It's coming out here. You'll hear the buzz here.
I'll be playing it. Yeah.
If you go to themarkhenry.com, it's gonna be all over it in just a little bit.
All right.
And Jacob got in the ring with some of the guys that were doing the motion capture. And he was doing things that seasoned wrestlers do. And it made me laugh. And I came back and told my wife, I was like, listen, if he just do that, he gonna be all right. After a year of training in Japan and Mexico, because I'm gonna let him travel the world and wrestle before he does a structured wrestling in America. Because in America, they want the finished product. NXT is the only place where they want to train you to be a wrestler.
Right.
But you take the risk, the same risk as the best guys, and you get less money. When Jacob goes in, he won't be looked at as a rookie, or he's going to be looked at as a guy that, yeah, we can work with him. We're not looking for, him to be average and be brought up in the same. You got to think outside the box, and he's an outside the box guy. So, we're gonna work with him. I'm gonna try to be dad and not coach, but I can't help but be mentor.
Yeah.
In wrestling because, I just, and not only am I a full-fledged Jedi Knight, I got a little Sith Lord in me too. So
it's in there, yeah.
He's gonna get there when he's fully in his power. I don't think that we'll be entertained by many people better than him.
Rewind, recap, relive. For over 50 episodes, the revolutionary force in wrestling interview.